Hello, children.
Hello, Aunty Chidinma.
Saturday is why Yara. That's beautiful. You are all welcome to Folktales Fiesta with Aunty Chidinma. This is episode 6, and we are doing yet another house tale. Who is happy? Great. The title of our story today is The King and His Two Wives. What's the title of our story?
The title of our story is The King and His Two Wives.
That's correct. Once upon a time, there lived a king who had 2 wives. Okay? He had the first wife, and then he married another, the second wife. Now, between both of them, the wives, the first one is very kind, very generous, very polite. She's just an amazing woman. But the second wife was wicked. She hated the first wife. She didn't like anything about the first wife. She would always say bad things to the king about the first wife. Now, after a long time, the first wife did not have any child. Many things were not going on well with her. One day, the second wife plotted a very little plan to make sure that the first wife got into trouble. She killed the cow, the big cow that the king had, and went and dropped it at the doorstep of the door of the first wife. So when everyone woke up in the morning, the servants, everybody saw the dead cow just right at the front of her own door. That's the first wife's door. And they went and reported to the king that the first wife had killed the cow. The first wife said, no, I didn't do anything. I don't know about it. No, not at all. Not at all. Sariki, I don't know about this. I don't know what happened. I don't know who did it. I'm innocent. You know what the king did?
No.
The king went inside and started thinking about it. The second wife walked up to the king and said, Sariki, I don't know what you are thinking of, but I know that this first wife, she is very, very wicked. She has been planning to do something evil to you. She wants to make sure that you are unhappy in this palace. She is the one that killed the cow. I'm telling you, she's the one that killed the cow. So the second wife kept, making sure that got into the head of the king. She made everything possible to convince him that the person who killed the cow was the first wife. Meanwhile, we all know she did it herself. Now, after a long thinking, the king went ahead and agreed that it was the first wife that did it. He called the kingmakers, all the elders, and they all conspired and agreed and sent the first wife away. They kind of banished her. What they didn't realize was that she was pregnant. She was pregnant with a child. So she stayed in that bush, suffered for a while, and the time came for her to have her baby. She gave birth to a bouncing baby boy and named the child Musa. There wasn't much to give him in the bush, so she fed Musa juice from tiger nuts and dates. Juice from what? Tiger nuts and dates. Now, whenever Musa was hungry, he would cry and cry and cry and cry. The mother would carry him just like this and start singing to him and rocking him to sleep. You want to hear the song she sings to him?
Yes.
You want to hear the song?
Yes.
Remember, what's the name of this handsome boy?
Musa.
Great. So the mother would just hold him and just be rocking him like that. Yaro na Musa, kari kari kuna, kari kari kuka, shake na, Yaro na Musa, kari kari kuka, shike na. We want to sing with me?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes, Aunty Chidinma.
So, like I said, Musa's mother would just hold him and start singing. Yaro na Musa, Yaro na Musa, Kai Kai Kuka, Kai Kai Kuka, Shikena, Shikena. Yaro na Musa, Yaro na Musa, Kai Kai Kuka, Kai Kai Kuka, Shikena, Shikena. So that's what she did every other time whenever Musa cried. And she would give him, like I said, juice from tiger nuts and dates. So they suffered and managed all through the time they were in the bush. Meanwhile, back in the palace, the king was not doing well with the wicked second wife. She didn't have any child. She wasn't doing well. She wasn't even being happy anymore. She thought she was going to be happy when they have the first wife out of the palace. Then she wasn't having any happy life again with the king because the king was also not pleased with her. One day, I don't know who came and whispered to the second wife and told her, guess what? The first wife has a child and they are right there surviving alive in the bush. So the second wife was not happy. She got upset and she planned something. Do you want to know her plan?
Yes, Aunty
She
Chidinma.
looked for one of the hunters in the village and told him he was going to help her kill both Musa and the mother. Yes, she's such a wicked woman. So she and the hunter planned, they poisoned the arrow and he went to the bush to make sure that the plan of the second wife was carried out. When he got to the bush, the first wife was there with Musa. After she had sang him to sleep, she went to gather tiger nuts and dates for the next meal. So she didn't see the hunter coming to hurt her child. She did not see. All of a sudden, when the hunter got there, he just put the bow in the arrow in the bow and was ready to shoot. As he was about to shoot, guess what happened?
What happened?
I'll tell you. Musa will just be disappearing.
Oh my God.
When he positions the bow this way to shoot him, Musa will go this way. When he positioned the bow this way to shoot, Musa will appear this way. That kept happening over and again, and you know what? The hunter's eyes were now going as if he's turning him like that and like that and like that, and he fainted. He fell down there and fainted.
Good for him.
Good for him, of course. So when the first wife came back and saw what was happening, she realized that the life of she and her son was in danger. So she had to change location. She took Musa and ran off to another village. After many years, the king was sick and was about to die. By now, Musa had grown up to be a young man. Those who were helping Musa's mother in this other village now convinced her that now it is safe for her to come back to the palace, to this village, to show everybody that Musa was alive. When they returned, everyone in the village was happy. They rejoiced because they didn't know that the king still had an heir, that there was any son to his name. The second wife saw them. She was so shocked that her heart skipped and she fainted. They took her to her room. She fell ill and not too long she died.
Good for her.
Yes, that's good for her because she's a wicked woman. So the first wife and Musa, the son, the king's son, came back into the house and they lived happily ever after. Who is happy for Musa? Who is happy for Musa? Beautiful. So that brings us to the end of the story today, but not without you sharing what you learned from the story. So who is ready to share what they learned from the story? Okay, let's begin with Khadija.
I learned that you should not be wicked to people.
Yes, that's correct. Khadija, we must not be wicked. You must be kind and care for people. Who else wants to tell us what you learned? Okay. Yes, David.
It is not good to kill someone.
Yes, that's correct, David. It's not good to kill someone. Do not plan against anybody. Do not try to poison somebody. Don't have any wicked thoughts against somebody. That's correct. Who else wants to tell me what they learned? Yes, David.
I learned that we should not be selfish.
That is correct. We should not be selfish. We should consider others. We should care about other people's feelings. That's correct. Who else wants to say something before we go? Okay. Yes, Daniela.
I learned that you shouldn't do evil unless the evil will come back to you.
Okay, that's correct, Daniela. We must not do anything evil because what goes around comes around. When you do something evil, it will come back to you. Amazing lessons you have all learned today. Put your hands together for yourself. Now to our friends out there, remember this is Folktales Fiesta with Aunty Chidinma, and today we've taken episode 6 titled The King and His Two Wives. We have learned that we must not be wicked to people and that evil soul will be reaped. So it's important how you live your life. And to my children right here, I want to say